Yeah. So, Prabhu, we'll begin our last the chapter, ninth chapter, which is bit of remaining. We had discussed yesterday about few of the things like blaspheming the Lord, or somebody who's what to do when somebody is blaspheming the Lord and his devotees, and how do we deal with the deities when they are coming out, and we have basically respect has to be maintained. Yesterday, some of you had question. One devotee had question, probably. No, Anil, bro, you had question. If you had question, you can begin with this if you still remember or you have still that.
I will search who it's somewhere. I will ask you in chat.
Okay, gracious. So we'll begin because let's put yeah, so we have to begin from the circumambulating the temple of Vishnu, as per I remember. So I'll be able to because I'm able to show you the these share the screen. So I'll just request you to read the highlighted portions which I have highlighted it already. So in circumambulating the temple of Vishnu, no, actually from Hari Bhakti Sudhadaya has been said mentioned over here. We just read this one, Prabhu, during the yeah. Please read during these times.
Yes, I'll just allot. Asim Prabha Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. During these times, there are certain special rules and regulations which are strictly followed. It is stated in the Skand Puran that during this period, if someone
Wait, if someone.
circumambulates the temple of Vishnu at least 4 times, it is understood that he has traveled all over the universe. By such circumambulation, one is understood to have seen all the holy places where the Ganges water is flowing. And by following the regulative principles of Chaturmasya, one can very quickly be raised to the platform of devotional service.
So over here, no, basically it's been said. The context in which this is proper is stating over here is that if somebody is circumambulating the Lord 4 times, the temple of the Lord 4 times, then uh, no, then it is equivalent to the going to all the holy places of pilgrimage. Because Prabhupada is stating that in Chaturmas time, when it's rainy season, generally the saintly people they travel, and they don't travel because of the rains. So what they do, they circumambulate the temple, 4 times. They circumambulate it 4 times around, and that is considered equivalent to going to all the places. Even even it's been said all around the world. Then what to say about and this means in the world around, if we circumambulate temple at least for travel all over the universe, then surely that also constitutes the holy places of pilgrimage also. So that's how it has been said that. But if it is, so Prabhupada is saying that, circumambulation to temple of Vishnu we should do. Uh, uh, Even if, no, because it is to show over here that how great it is, the importance it is been mentioned over here, that you get the benefit of, circumambulating the whole world. The universe has been said. And such a person actually who's circumambulating the deity, he does not has to circumambulate a repeated birth and death cycle. So, actually circumambulating the deity, the temple of the Vishnu means actually when we are circumambulating, when we are doing parikrama, actually we should remember The thing is that we are making the Lord as a center of our life, and we revolve around around him. Our life revolves around him, serving him. So while doing parikrama of the Lord, we should actually remember they call it their glories, sing their glories. That's how we do. Sometimes it is over here, Prabhupada is also saying 4 times to circumambulate. Some places they say 3 times. I don't know what is that exactly, but in our temple we have seen that it happens 3 times. Um, so the main thing is that we can do as much as possible, whatever has been done in the local place. The main thing is that one should know that his life should circumambulate around the Lord, is around the service of the Lord, and that's the meaning. That's actually the essence of it. So now coming to the Archana part. Archana proper writes about over here in a okay, I have not highlighted. You read this entire row, Archana. One of you can read it.
Bibu
Yes.
Prabhu.
Ar- Archana, Archana means worship of the deity in the temple. By executing this process, one confirms himself to be not the body but the spirit soul. In the 10th canto, 81st chapter, verse 19 of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is told how Sudama, an intimate friend of Krishna, while going to the house of a Brahmanam, murmured to him murmured him to himself, simply by worshipping Krishna, one can easily achieve all the results of heavenly opulence, liberation, supremacy over the planetary systems of the universe, all the opulences of this material world, and the mystic power of performing the yoga system. Shall I
Uh,
continue?
yeah, yes, continue to read. Yes.
The, the events leading to Sudama's murmuring this statement are as follows. Sri Krishna had ordered his friend Sudama to go to a Brahmana's house and ask for some food. The Brahmanas were performing a great sacrifice, and Sri Krishna told Sudama to plead with them that he and Balaram were feeling hungry and and needed some food. When Sudama went there, the Brahmanas refused to offer anything. But the wives of the Brahmanas, upon hearing that Sri Krishna wanted some food stuff, he immediately took many palatable dishes and went to offer them to Sri Krishna. In the Vishnu Rahasya, also it is stated that any person within this world who is engaged in the worship of Vishnu can very easily achieve the ever blissful kingdom of God known as Vaikuntha Loka.
Yeah, so no, what is the thing in Archana which has been said that a devotee actually, the Prabhupada is writing the first line that he remembers that he is not the body, his spirit, soul. So that is Archana means it begins with the Bhuta Shuddhi prayer, where a devotee actually, before entering the altar of the Lord, he has to recollect, he has to do Achman, he has to do Achman and all those things, and then he has to offer the prayers, which is called as Bhuta Shuddhi prayers, where he recognizes that I have no designations in this world. Na ham Vipro, na Charapati, na Vaishya, na api Vaishya, na Shudra, no, neither I am a brahmachari, grihastha, vanapastha, sannyasi. Only I am a gopi, bharto, pada, kamalyo, dasa, anudas. So this is very important. This is very important prayer to be done because before entering the altar, a devotee has to be very clear that he is not the body but spirit soul, and in that way he serves the Lord. Uh, and because with the material senses, it is not possible to serve the Lord. So, and material sense has a lot of defects, and one should not carry the bodily consciousness in front of the Lord. That is why all those things are also mentioned. We should go in a simple way. We have written that dressing also has to be simple and all. Basically, why the bodily consciousness is not very should be bodily consciousness. With the bodily consciousness we should not go to the Lord. Else we will just, we'll just seek something comfort for the body rather than serving the Lord. Or we just seek some prayers which is comforting the body rather than actually what we are, the soul, servants. So Archana means it begins with the Bhuta Shuddhi prayers. And this is this sloka which has been quoted by Prabhupada actually is to say also that Sudama was murmuring this particular shloka which has been also over here been mentioned, which I am showing to you now. You can see this. I can make it bigger for you if you wish. शुद्धि न्यासादि पूर्व अंग कर्म निर्वाह पूर्वाकम अर्चनम तुप 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 तुपचा तुप अर् तुपचारणम यस्यान मंत्रेनो उपपदन्नम. Worship is properly offering things, perhaps with chanting of mantra after performing rites of purification. So this Shuddhi is the word is the Bhuta Shuddhi prayer, and Nyasadi is about performing with the mantras when we offer it. That is called as Archana. So Archana has to be done with that day. Surely even if you are not the Brahman initiated, not a problem. You can not a problem. You can even do Bhuta Shuddhi prayers. That is not a problem for anybody. Uh, Even if you're doing in voice, no problem. Because you can remember, there's nothing wrong to remember that we are not the body, we are the spirit, soul. And by the mercy of the Spiritual Master, by the mercy of Prabhupada, we have come to know our real identity. I have no other designation in this world. I'm just a servant of the Lord. That can be done. Yes, you may not be able to do, not a problem. So this is called Archana Marga. And this is the verse which is being, he quotes Sudama is quoting while he's going to the Sudama, to the Brahmanas, Yajnik Brahmanas. See, over here it's been said, these Yajnik Brahmanas, why this has been quoted over here, Sudama's prayer. Swarga pavargo pumsam rasayam bhuvi sampadam sarvasam api siddhinam moolam takcharna charanam. So it's been said that anybody who worships the feet of the Lord, he gets all the wealth of everything, heaven, earth, subterranean regions, everything. So why it has been quoted over here? Why? Because he's also offering the prayers, over here, but also to tell that these Yagnik Brahmanas actually they were worshipping the Lord, they were doing the yagyas, but they had not come to this understanding that they're not the body, they're spirit, soul, meant to serve the Lord. Rather than they were having designations, they had a lot of fear. Then they had a lot of fear from Kamsa. They had a lot of they felt they could not recognize the Lord. They could not recognize the importance of the service of the Lord. But whereas the Vyaknik Brahmana Patnis, they could, as soon as they heard that the Lord is hungry, Krishna and Balaram is hungry, they ran with whatever they had. So, actually, Archanam is external, is a surely Archanam is a gesture of, offering different things to the Lord. But actually, it is also and doing the Bhuta Shuddhi, but meaning, the spirit is, the meaning, the consciousness should be this, that whatever belongs to me is belongs to the Lord. And we should not hesitate and fear in offering him anything. That's Archanam. So when somebody does that, so then somebody, we have to do it like that, and we get purified by performance of such a devotional act. Then Prabhupada says about rendering service to the Lord. One of you can read now this stated in Vishnu Rahasya.
You mean the below portion, Prabhuji?
Yeah, which is highlighted any person who can arrange.
Prabhuji, we are seeing that.
Acha, acha, I have to. Sorry. I was still seeing that. Yeah, yes. Please read.
Chandra Bhushan Pro.
Hare Krishna. any person who can arrange for service to the Lord in the same way that a king is given service by his attendants is surely elevated to the abode of Krishna after death. Actually, in India, the temples are just like royal palaces. They are not ordinary buildings because the worship of Krishna should be performed in just the way that a king is worshipped in his palace. So, in Vrindavan, there are many hundreds of temples wherein the deity is worshipped exactly like a king.
Yeah, so while we are rendering service to the Lord, we have to render him in a way that he is a king, we are his subject. And it has to be done with a lot of uh, yeah, lot of opulence. Whatever opulence is possible, one should offer it to the Lord. And like Chaitanya Charitamrita, when the Lord Chaitanya goes to Advaita Acharya's house, being invited for the lunch, and he sees the kind of offering that he has made for the Lord. So, he becomes very happy, and he says over there that anybody who's offering such elaborate way to the Lord, who is making an offering to the Lord, surely he will attain the Lord very quickly. He says over there. So this means that actually the deities has to be worshipped exactly like a king, because they are actually at least we should know they're the king of our hearts. So whatever we have, we should offer it in that way. And as much as gorgeousness can be there for him, for his service, for his dress, for his palace, that should be there. So that's why in India the temples were very big. They were made very big. These fool people don't understand, and they keep on saying, what's the use of constructing such big temples rather than do some Mano Seva, then Mano Seva. That's a foolish thing. They don't know that by construction of that temple, the huge temples, the people get attracted to that temple. They understand some of people understand the greatness of the Lord much more over there. When they see the Lord being worshipped in a lot of opulence, then they understand, oh, he's very great. Because before we understand the sweetness, the greatness of the Lord, is appreciated by general mass. That's very natural. For us also, before the sweetness of the Lord conquers our heart, actually the greatness has to be understood very properly. Else that sweetness may go in a sahajya way. So, or in cheap way, that's what has been said. So, Prabhupada over here also writes over here. The conclusion is that, read, Pro, one of you.
Continue, bro.
Oh, it's not. I'll read. The conclusion is that those who are rich men in society should construct beautiful temples and arrange for the worship of Vishnu so that the people may be attracted to visit such temples, and thereby be offered the opportunity of dancing before the Lord or chanting the holy name of the Lord or else of hearing the holy name of the Lord. In this way, everyone will be given a chance to elevate himself to the kingdom of God. In other words, even a common man, simply by visiting such a temple, will be able to attain the highest benediction, not to mention the devotees, who are constantly engaged in the service of the Lord in full Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada is saying, such temples should be constructed with the rich people. And why? Big temple should be there so that a sufficient place is there. One is that his worship has to be gorgeous. People like big things in this world. You will see anything which is big. matlab, even if there is nothing over there, the structure is big, people go. I just making a side comment. The Lotus Temple, I don't know how many of you gone in Delhi. Huge structure, huge structure. Inside there's nothing. They go, they tell you to go and sit silently over there. And then that also not much silence is there because a lot of echo happens. Any child cries, a lot of echo is there. So we can't even meditate also. Nothing, no Lord, nothing is present. But people go, huge number of people go. Why? The structure is big. Structure is beautiful. The same way, if the temple is big, people like to come. Because of several reasons they may come. But they get the darshan of the Lord, and if the place is big, they can dance very jollily over there. They can sing, they can hear the katha of the Lord, relax over there, and get something, something high in their life, high benedictions in their life. What to say about the devotees who are constantly. So proper, quotes over here. Bhagavatam, where Prithu Maharaj says, this is a very beautiful verse I want to show to you. 21st. I'll just show you proof. Let's go back. Oh, what's the 421? 31. Yeah. It's a very famous shloka. That's why I wanted to show to you. I'll just show it to you. You can recite with me. बहुत छोटा है क्या? हाँ यत्पादसेवाभिरुचिस्तपस्विनाम् अशेषजन्मोपचितं बलं धिया साध्याय शिनोति अन्वहम् एधाति सति यथा पादानुकुष्टा विनिकृष्टता सरी. Yeah, one of you read through.
By the inclination to serve the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, suffering humanity can immediately cleanse the dirt which has accumulated in their minds during innumerable births. Like the Ganges water which emanates from the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord, such a process immediately cleanses the mind, and thus spiritual or Krishna consciousness gradually increases.
That's what been said. That if somebody is inclined, they're suffering. If he's inclined to serve the lotus feet of the Lord, all that what is abhadra in his heart, actually, which may be accumulated in the mind during innumerable births. It's been said over here that it just gets cleansed off, of his mind, like Ganga water, which is Sharnamrita to the Lord, immediately cleanses the mind, and as the spiritual Krishna consciousness gradually increases. So, that is how if somebody is seeking, is trying to serve the Lord, is trying to seek the Lord, he seeks the service of the Lord, his mind gets very cleansed. So over here, Prabhupada talks about the glory of the Ganga also, because the glory of Ganga is also this, that anybody who takes bath in the waters of the Ganga, his path is gets washed away, and devotional sentiments arises in his heart. That's what has been said. The glory of Ganga are known to Indians and to ourselves also. Proper, the river Ganga flows by Calcutta. Sometimes within the water, sometimes water there are many stools and other dirty things which are washed away from neighboring mills and factories. But still, thousands of men take bath in Ganga, and they are very healthy as well as spiritually inclined. That is the effect of Ganga water. The Ganga is glorified because it emanates from the toe of the lotus feet of the Lord. Similarly, if one takes to the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, or takes to Krishna consciousness, is immediately cleansed of the many dirty things which have accumulated this innumerable births. Innumerable birth means there is no count of it. So, Ashesha Janmo Pachitam Upachitam Malam Dhiya, right? Ashesha Janma. I don't know how many innumerable Janma, which we have acquired. All is destroyed, if somebody has an inclination to serve the Lord, this lotus feet. So, that's so these all has to be done. We are reading this. I hope you remember that we are reading this section, this chapter, in the sense of that how the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti has to be performed, and how much, and when it is performed with the spirit intact, it means involving one's heart, it leads to the next stage of bhakti, that is called as bhava bhakti, and then eventually Prema Bhakti. So one has to do it. That these are recommendations which have been mentioned. An explanation of those 64 items which we read in the sixth or seventh chapter. Yeah, sixth or seventh chapter. Somebody or some now has been over here, been also been being said, elaborated. Going ahead, proper writes about singing. Um, Singing, you know, is also it's a very amazing verse which is being stated over here for singing. Uh, it's about uh, it's about actually it actually is quoted from Linga Purana. Prabhupada is writing where he says that okay, I'll show you. I'll show the verse because that's verse is not there. Hmm. Here it's been said Yatha Lainge, right? Brahmano Vasudevakyam Gayamano Atisampadam
Nisamvaram
Haresh Salokyamaknoti
Sarvesalokyamapnoti
Rudra Ganadikam Bhavet.
Bhavet.
This is very amazing. You read what is being mentioned over here, a Brahmana.
Linga Puran. A Brahmana who always sings songs about Vasudev attains residence in Lord in Hari's world. These songs are therefore better than Rudra's.
Okay, read now. Do Rudra.
Though Rudra Shiva's songs are famous, Shiva does not attain Vaikuntha by singing them. This verse therefore considers the Brahman's song in praise of Vasudev to be superior.
Yeah. So Rudra Gana Dikam Bhavet. So though the Rudra's, song is very famous. This is not Rudra Geetam, huh? This is Rudra Geetam is about the glories of the Lord. But somebody who's singing the glories of Rudra. Those songs are famous. But no, you can't attain Vaikuntha by that, by singing the glories. So, Shiva does not attain Vaikuntha by singing that. Been said over here. So, this verse therefore considers the Brahmins' songs in praise of Vasudev to be superior. So, Brahmanas who are singing the song for the pleasure of the Lord is far superior. So, one has to sing for the pleasure of the Lord Vasudeva, not for anybody else. And it has to be done with devotion. That's what's been said. So, um, so if we do it like that, then surely it is, uh, then we get an opportunity to go for a higher transcendental consciousness. I'm going a bit fast because I have to cover this chapter anyhow today. So, but you have any questions, you can surely, record, write it, and keep it with you. We'll take it today. Sankirtan. So, probably begins with the Sankirtan over here. This is something which is which is the heart of Gauriya Vaishnavas. And Prabhupada has written a one page for it. So we'll read it. Read to one of you. Complete, you have to read it.
Darshan Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. When a person loudly chants the glories of the Lord's activities, qualities, form, etc., his chanting is called Sankirtan. Sankirtan also refers to the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. In the Vishnu Dharma, there is a statement glorifying this process of congregational chanting. My dear king, this word Krishna is so auspicious that anyone who chants this holy name immediately gets rid of the resultant actions of sinful activities from many, many births. This is a fact. There is a following statement in Chaitanya Charitamrita. A person who chants the holy name of Krishna once can counteract the resultant actions of more sinful activities than he is able to perform. A sinful man can perform many, many sinful activities, but he is unable to perform so many that they cannot be wiped out by one single uttering of Krishna. In the 7th canto, 9th chapter, verse 18 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Maharaj Prahlad offers the following prayers to the Lord. My dear Lord Narsimha, if I can be elevated to the position of your servant,
then it will be possible for me to hear about your activities. You are the supreme friend, the supreme worshipable deity. Your pastimes are transcendental, and simply by hearing of them, one can counteract all his sinful activities. Therefore, I cannot care for all those sinful activities, because simply by hearing about your pastime, I shall get out of all the contaminations of material attachment. There are many songs about the Lord's activities. For example, there is a Brahma Samhita, there is the Brahma Samhita sung by Lord Brahma, Narada Pancharatra sung by Narad Muni, and Srimad Bhagavatam sung by Shukdev Goswami. If these songs are heard by any person, he can easily get out of the clutches of the material contamination. There should be no difficulty in hearing these songs of God. They are coming down from many, many millions of years ago, and people who are still taking advantage of them. So, why at this time should one not take full advantage and thus become liberated? In the first canto, 5th chapter, verse 22 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Narad Muni tells his disciple Vyasdev, "My dear Vyas, you know, you should know that persons who are engaged in executing austerities and penances, studying the Vedas, performing big sacrifices, chanting the hymns of Vedas, speculating on transcendental knowledge, and performing charitable functions, have for all their auspicious activities simply to gain a place in the association of devotees and chant the glories of the Lord. It is indicated here that chanting about and glorifying the Lord is the ultimate activity of the living entity.
Yeah. So this being, these are very important shlokas which have been quoted by Prabhupada, by Rupa Goswami, quoted by Prabhupada over here for us. See, but Sankirtan is a congregation chanting of the holy name of the Lord. It is surely, we can, when we go out, or when we are there over there at any place, when you do Hare Krishna Kirtan together, that is also Sankirtan. But also here has been said that when we are offering notable prayers, like which has been notable means which has been offered in, by some great souls from, we can repeat it, those prayers from the pages of Bhagavatam, or proper rites, Ishvara Parama Krishna Brahma Samhita. These are also glories of the Lord. So anywhere when a group of people are coming and they are glorifying the Lord, or one is hearing and one is others are hearing, one is speaking, that is also Sankirtan. You know. But for sure, when Lord Chaitanya very also clearly also made one thing, that distribution of the holy name of the Lord, the Hare Krishna mantra, is as a very powerful way of Sankirtan, because not everyone may be you know interested in sitting and hearing the Bhagavatam and the other prayers, but but holy name anybody can hear it. And you, when we go like Harinam Sankirtan every morning also, many devotees were able to go every day also. The we meet people who might not be, maybe Angutha Shapi, might not be able to understand anything, but he also nods his head by the tune. So the tune is very attractive for people. The simplicity of the name is very, because it's the same name being repeated, and it is not a Sanskrit like Bhagavatam prayers or Brahma Samhita prayers and all. So it's very simply, it's not it's very simply taken, and the benefit is very highest because it's a Maha Mantra. So Sankirtan surely is over here is emphasized by Lord Chaitanya as a chanting of the Maha Mantra in a with with music and with the group of people coming and chanting together. But also it is, other things are also, other glorification of the Lord also are called as the Sankirtan. Prabhupada over here has quoted very beautiful shloka, which is very amazing. First canto, fifth chapter, verse 22, you know, 1 5 22, he is quoting, you know, he quotes also Prahlad Maharaj that prayer, that's very important. Soham priyasya suhrida paradevataya leela katha uh, leela katha stava nirsimha virincha gita anja stitarami anuganam uh, anugrinan guna vipramukto durganite pada yugalasya hamsa sangaha. So in this also been said that anybody who is engaged actually uh, in suhrita priyasya suhrita paradevataya leela katha tava narsimha virincha gita. Anybody who is chanting the leela and the katha of the narsimhas and as given in the deceptic succession virincha gita given by the Brahma. Anybody who is doing anja stitarami easily crosses over. you know Guna Vipramukto. He easily crosses the world of the three gunas, which is very difficult. Durgani, Te Pada Yugal Hamsa Sangha. So that's been said. And then after that, when Prabhupada is saying this is the power of the glories of the power of the chanting of uh, you know the chanting the glories of the Lord. And when it is done with proper in a proper Guru Parampara, it has a lot of impact on a person who is reading and a person who is hearing both. And amazing is this verse which I wanted to show you, which Prabhupada is quoting over here. I'm sorry. This is the what is the result of performing Sankirtan, right? Na? This is the shloka. Idam hi pumsa tapasa shrutasya va. This is a very famous shloka, actually. So istasya suktasya cha buddhidatyo avichito artha ko kavabhi nirupito yat uttama shloka gunan varnanam. So Prabhupada is do you know how learned circles have?
Learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, namely austerities, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of hymns, and charity, culminates in the transcendental descriptions of the Lord who is defined in choice poetry.
So when everything is done, all those austerities, Vedic sacrifice, like today, not today means right now Mahakumbh Mela is going on, many sadhus come. All those when somebody has done, you know, the culmination of all that he has done, chanting of hymns, all this austerity, all those what he has done is what when is that what we are getting right now by Prabhupada's grace that we are able to describe to hear and describe the transcendental activities of the Lord, which is called Gunanu Uttama Shloka Gunanu Varnanam. And Prabhupada writes that this is a perfection of human form of life. Prabhupada actually says about this that the ultimate benefit of doing all those things is this that you get an association of devotees who are actually engaged right now, who are engaged in in chanting and glorifying the Lord. That's why Prabhupada is saying that to gain a place in the association of the devotees and chant the glories of the Lord. This is a special edition by Prabhupada, which is saying because we can't do it without the association of the Lord. The chanting, Prabhupada writes about chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. I will not get into that. This sure is very important, but the Sankirtan when it's is a public ye, Japa is a private thing, and it has to be done very regularly every day. There's no yeah. So now coming to the submission means we offer notable we offer prayers to the Lord. So Prabhupada is quoting three categories of prayers basically. Samprathnatmika, Danya Bodhika, and Lalasamai, which I'm highlighting it over here for you. So Samprathatmika means feeling offering very feelingly offering prayers. Then Bodhika means submitting oneself one's fallen situation, and Lalasamai desiring some perfectional stage. So Prabhupada writes that in these this is So this is how actually the prayer should be. That we go in front of the Lord, then we first glorify Him, then we put our fallen situation in front of Him, and then we look some perfectional stage. We pray for Lal Samai. But this is not wrong. To offer prayers for asking the Lord to award us devotional service or some taste in the holy name. This is not considered to be Anyabhilasha. This is not Anyabhilasha. This is right Abhilasha, which every devotee should have. And we can surely pray for it. No, one should surely have a lalasa, a stage, lalyam for it. That's what it's the eagerness to achieve it. So Prabhupada actually over here it mentions over here that okay, when one realizes something, I'm just reading it through, so make it fast. This I'm reading it to you. When one realizes something of his constitutional relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he understands his original positions and wants to be reinstated in this position either as a friend, servant, parent, or conjugal lover of Krishna. This is called Lalasamai, or very eagerly desiring to go to one's natural position, where he has been. This Lalsamai stage of submission comes in the stage of perfect liberation, which is technically called a Sarupa Siddhi. When the divinity understands by perfect spiritual advancement and the revelation his original relationship with the Lord. So this particular, what I said to you as a lalsa is desiring some taste in the holy name. That's not wrong. But actually, lalsa over here is that in one of the rasas I will be, and surely this is a prayer which is done at a perfectional stage. Actually, Samprarthatmika is done in the stage which we are in a conditioned stage where a devotee offers prayers to the Lord. But lalasa of this kind of lalasa of getting into one of the rasas of the Lord is done at a very high stage of devotion. But no, so I'll not get into this. I'll straight show you slokas which is mentioned by Rupa Goswami for it. So, Lord Guna Kirtanam, this we, yes. Yes, yeah. No, yes. So, Sampratmatmika, Danyabodhika, Lalasamai, Iti Adir Vividha, Dhira, Krishne, Shrine, Vigyapati Tirita. So means what? The wise divides the expressing of oneself to Krishna in following categories: requesting, requesting something, confession, of one's fallen position, and expression of desire. So request and confession, request and expression of desire has a difference. Samprathatmika is requesting something, and Rarasam is expression of desire. So then he defines, Samprathatmika. He defines over here. Read one of you, Padma Purana as the mind of.
Puran. As the minds of adolescent boys and girls delight in thoughts of each other, let my mind delight in you.
So this you understand. So he, this kind of a prayer is called as a Sampradhatmika, where a person in the conditioned stage is requesting for some kind of a desire, or the glories of the Lord he is speaking, or he's expressing his desire. It's very clear. One form of this is also expressing a request to Krishna means expressing a request that one attains the fruit of sadhana to develop real love or bhava bhakti. Okay, then there's Dan Bodhika. Dan Bodhika proper writes very beautifully. I'm going to show to you. Read one of you. No one is a.
No one is a worse sinner or offender than me. I am ashamed to even ask for forgiveness. So what should I say, O Purushottama?
Ah. So this is a confession that a devotee feels that he's ashamed because he knows repeatedly I'm doing the same. Not repeatedly, he's ashamed of his past. That's why Prabhupada writes very beautiful line in the sixth canto. Bhagavatam, that every gentleman should remember his past. That means a devotee basically should remember his past, what he was, and should lament for it, and be happy that I have been given this great fortune, that I have been rid of those past my histories. And then Lalsa Mai is expression of desire. O Jagatpati, read it, bro. Narad Pancharatra.
O Jagatpati, when will you tell me in a grave voice, with Lakshmi at your side, wave the yak tail fan in this way?
So this is very specific, when he's drinking yak tail, I can, chamar, I can do it. And we sing that song, what is it? Chamar Dula hai kabo heribo mukha chandra. This is Lalsa Mai prayer. And to be done, it is done. We sing it, but it is done at a stage, as at a perfectional stage. Read the difference between expression of desire, lalsam, and a request, samprathatmika.
The difference between an expression of desire, lalsamai, and a request, samprarthana, is that a request is made by one who does not yet possess raga, a longing for a specific service of the Lord, whereas expression of desire are made by persons with such raga. It is an expression of one's desire to attain a specific service or expression of love. As such, expressions of desire are really an anga of Raganuga sadhana. Rupa Goswami mentions it here in the section of Vaidhi sadhana for the sake of completeness. Also, as will be shown later in the section on Raganuga sadhana, the 64 items mentioned here are also a part of Raganuga sadhana.
Yes, you understand over here. So it is not that we can't offer Lalasamai, but we can't offer Chamara Dolai, Heri Bo Mukha Chandra, because we are not at that level, So because we don't have that raga, right? A specific raga for the Lord. So, but we can offer Lalsamai, like give me taste, the holy name, my dear Lord. I am such a fallen. That constitutes some sampratna atmika prayers, because this is done is a request when we does not possess a raga or a longing for a specific service of the Lord. And when somebody has developed, he has crossed bhava, Vaidhi sadhana, has reached to the bhava stage, there often, there he starts beginning, Lal Samai prayers actually, because he asks for a certain kind of a seva from the Lord, like Chamara, Vajana, these kind of thing to be done. So, I want to show to you that part where Prabhupada talks about, Danya Bodhika, actually. Read bro. In the same Padma Puran, read it.
In the same Padma Puran, there is a statement about submission in humbleness. It is stated there, my dear Lord, there is no sinful living entity who is more of a sinner than myself, nor is there a great offender than myself. I am so greatly sinful and offensive that when I come to confess my sinful activities before you, I am ashamed. This is a natural position for a devotee. As far as the conditioned soul is concerned, there is no wonder that he has some sinful activities in his past life, and this should be admitted and confessed before the Lord. As soon as this is done, the Lord excuses the sincere devotee, but that does not mean that one should take advantage of the Lord's causeless mercy and expect to be excused over and over again, while he commits the same sinful activities.
No,
Such
that's
a
a
mentality is only for shameless persons. Here it is clearly said, when I come to confess my sinful activities, I become ashamed. So, if a person is not ashamed of his sinful activities and continues to commit the same sinful activities with the knowledge that the Lord will excuse him, that is a most nonsensical proposition.
Go ahead.
Such an idea is not accepted in any part of the Vedic literature. It is a fact that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one becomes washed clean of all sinful activities from his past life, but that does not mean that after being washed off, one should again begin sinful activities, and expect to be washed again. These are nonsensical propositions and are not admitted in devotional service. Someone may think, for a whole week I may commit sinful activities, and for one day I will go to the temple or church and admit my sinful activities so that I can become washed off and again begin my sinning. This is nonsensical and offensive and is not acceptable to the author of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
So Prabhupada very beautifully is writing that if somebody, with feelings offers his, he admits his, situations as being a sinner in the past, then just by his sincerity of his admission that he was fallen, the Lord excuses all that what he has done. Right? Sometimes, somebody may come to us also and may express that, I did that mistake, sorry, and what we do, we said, okay, okay, because of that sincerity with which he is coming, so that is why then, we sing that kind of a prayers, na? Amahara Jivana Sada Pape Rata. Generally, devotees feel, oh, why to, But actually, the good thing is this that if we sincerely, if we offer those prayers, the Lord actually excuses all that, what we have done in the past. And and everybody should remember that our past was not so good, and we should admit for it. That is why we are suffering in this world, Else, if the past would have been good, why would I be suffering? So. Uh, so this is why I wanted to let you read over here. So this is in this way if it is done, and one should not try to misutilize the the compassionate nature of the Lord, and repeatedly try to do the same thing, thinking that anyhow the Lord forgives us when we offer that prayer. That's nonsense. I just want to say in our, in one time, no, one time, in a book, I don't know, those who are from CBSE schools, at our time in the ninth standard in the Gulmohar English book, there was that was a chapter of a boy who was, lame. So he would go to the church in the wheelchair, and he would say that I go with my parents, they take me, although I feel awkward to go with the no leg, or something problem in the leg, that kind of a polio, but I go over there so that the people will feel pity on me and pray for me, and then Lord will bestow the mercy on me. Actually, that kind of a attitude is not considered very good, because uh, why one can say it also, it is fine that he's representing, but no, one should not be thinking that one should not commit, because some people have that mentality that when I commit something blunder, I feel humble. So and humble people attracts the mercy of the Lord. So let me keep on committing nonsense. Some depressed souls feel like that. Although being a devotee may be a depressed fellow, so he feels like that. That kind of thing is not so right. So now a devotee should not, go in a situation, in a bad situation to feel humility. No, he should remember the past and feel humility. That's sufficient for him. So now coming to the last part of this chapter, reciting notable prayers is the same. I won't, and partaking of prasad, drinking Sharanamrit is remaining, touching the deity, seeing the deity, observing arti and celebration. Anyhow, so then there's nothing much to be, surely is there because Prabhupada has written and we should read it. I just want to maybe read two of them, partaking of prasad and drinking Sharanamrit, and then we'll go for question and answers. Uh, just read, Prabhu. So, partaking of prasad. This is very important for us.
Dheeraj Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. While taking of prasad, there is a specific statement in the Padma Puran. A person who honors the prasad and regularly eats it, not exactly in the front of the deity, along with the charnamrut, the water offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, which is mixed with the seeds of the tulsi tree, immediately he can achieve the results of pious activity, which are obtained through 10,000 performances of sacrificial rites.
But we don't take prasad just for getting 10,000, obtaining the benefit of 10,000, Ashwamedh Yagya or some Yagyas, credit. We take prasad with remember and proper as written before, because because झूठा आप तभी खाते हो किसी का when you are a you accept the servantship, right? No? So the one has to eat it and nothing except झूठा the servant eats ideally of the master. Yeah, drinking Charanamrit.
Charnamrita is obtained in the morning while the Lord is being washed before the dressing. Scented with the perfumes and flowers, the water comes gliding down to his lotus feet and is collected and mixed with the yogurt. In this way, this Charnamrita not only becomes very tastefully flavored, but also has a tremendous spiritual value. As described in the Padma Puran, even a person who has never been able to give in a charity, who has never been able to perform a great sacrifice, who has never been able to study, who has never been able to worship the Lord, or in other who has never done any pious activities, will become eligible to the kingdom of God if he simply drinks the Charnamrita, which is kept in the temple. In the temple, it is the custom that Charnamrita be kept in a big pot. The devotees who come to visit and offer respect to the deity take 3 drops of Charnamrita very submissively and feel themselves happy in the transcendental bliss.
Yeah, yes. So no, so these two are very important thing. Charanamrit, all are important. Prasadam is surely very important. Only honoring Prasadam and Charanamrit of the Lord. Because these all are, these are very, in one way, if you see, surely that because of the culture that one way, like one man, I just tell to you, uh, there was one devotee, and we had just taken one flat of voice. When the days when I was a student, so he was my equal. So that flat was of a Muslim man, you know. So when he came to see how we are living in that flat, so that devotee gave him prasadam. So he said, "What is this?" Yeah, he said he was very happy to see the sweet, and that devotee went to say that this is prasad. That Muslim folk was not able to understand much. Prasad means what? Then our devotee went and said, "Oh, the prasad means the saliva of the Lord is over here in this." Hey, and he was a bit taken back. Saliva? Oh no, because he has no understanding. Muslim, no, somehow he could not understand that. So, but one has to know, you know, that it's divine, and if we take it, we should take in that mood that I'm his servant, and because anything of the Lord is very great, it's very purifying. So, so one should take it with faith, and even Chandan, his foot wash, whose foot is very clean, but the Lord's foot is very clean, right? Na? Not just clean, it's very divine. So if we take that his foot wash, all there's a very beautiful shlokas also which tells about that akal mrityu haranam, all those things. But mainly thing is regular akal mrityu haranam ho ya na ho. The main thing is that uh, we get purified by drinking the charnamrit. And with devotional consciousness, if somebody is doing it, his sambandha with the Lord gets refined and more better. So anyhow, few are more remaining. You can read by your own. If you have anybody has question, you can ask. If there's no question, then it's also fine. So I'm very, if you have, you can raise your hand. I'm very thankful to each one of you, who encouraged me to take this, 9 chapters with introduction, and already was very helpful for me, because when you teach, you have to read the most and you have to get into the deep the most. But I hope I would have served you in some way. And if some mistake has been done from my side, I beg forgiveness for that. And I had a devotee, then I had devotees who will be taking this. They will surely they are senior to me, and they will take it in a much better way. If something which I have said, might have, you know, might have gone uh, haywire, what you have heard before, I would request you can clarify with some devotee. I may be wrong. I'm not saying it, but you know, but I have presented to my best capacity in front of you, and I've surely presented. I'm very sure that at least I've tried my best to present it the way the way it has been mentioned by Prabhupada and Acharyas. And surely I took lot of help and showed you about Shuddha from Shivram Maharaj book, His Holiness Shivram Maharaj book, Shuddha Chintamani. It was very helpful, and for me also when I was reading it, and that's why I showed you. And very thankful to each one of you who so patiently kept on coming for every session and encouraged me to continue your sessions. And I seek forgiveness for many weeks I have changed the days. As today was Friday, it was not supposed to be, but that's what the situation is. So sorry for that. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, bro.
One question in that one of the sections there was mention of prayer by Sudama. He was murmuring some prayer. So I was thinking like Sudama Vipra who was Krishna's friend. So he was Krishna's friend during his Gurukul time.
No, he's not
Yeah.
that Sudama. No, there are two Sudama, bro. There are Gopa Sudama.
So, but there it says that Sudama goes to the Brahmana's wife's Brahmana
He's
Patni's.
a Gopa. He's not that Sudama. Not Sudama Vipra.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Sridham, Sudam, there are many.
So, but the prayer was made by Sudama Vipra. Prayer.
Oh, this is Yajnik Brahmanas now with this chapter
No,
itself.
the prayer that was mentioned there. So
Okay.
that was made by Sudama Vipra, right?
Let me see. Let me see.
Because the quotation is from 10th canto.
10th canto, that prayer. Oh, wait, let me see. This was Arjuna, right? No? 10th canto, 18th first chapter. Oh, this is okay. See, this chapter name is yeah. So this chapter is Lord blesses Sudama Brahmana, and he's going, so he's going over there. Just let me know. Verse 19. Oh, okay. I understood now what you are asking me. So I see over here, bro. It's been said. It's been quoted over here from that chapter where Sudama actually Vipra is one is saying this that an intimate friend of Krishna while going to the house of a Brahmana murmured to himself that simply by worshipping Krishna, it seems to be over here something is. Something has gone wrong over here because over here it is written the 10th canto 81st chapter verse 19. It is told how Sudama, an intimate friend of Krishna, while going to the house of a Brahmana, murmured to himself. This is something fishy. I can say fishy in the sense I hope you understand. Um, looks to be something quoted. I can wait, but let me see about from Rupa Goswami and that NOD itself. That's a good question that you have asked. Let's let me go to that. Okay. So this is Sudama Brahman only. This is right quotation over here. Been said over here that and he is quoting over there that anybody who worships the Lord, he achieves heavenly opulence, liberation, and all those. So even leading to Sudama Brahman, this is statement are as follows: that Sri Krishna had ordered his friend Sudama to go to Brahmana house for food. Well, I have to read, bro. Then 81st chapter I have not read it till now in terms of Bhagavatam sequence. We are still in 72, 73. When I read, I'll get back to you.
But we can discuss later on offline also.
Yeah, yes. That's very good. So looks to be there's some kind of similarity. We have to check acharyas. I know I'm not very sure about it.
Yes.
Yes, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you for pointing out. Okay. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Proji, for conducting nice classes on NOD. The initial with different quotations from different books and back and forth with main Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu verses. It was very wonderful. Very grateful to you, Proji, for conducting all the classes. Thank you very much, Proji. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very much, bro.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Proji.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Proji.
you, bro.
Very much, Raj.
Thank you, Proji. Hare Krishna.